Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the T&T Podcast. Here with your boy Torrez and my co-host Tyler Layfield. What's up, Tyler?
Man, nothing much. Ready to get into this one, would you? Preview this upcoming fight, man. It's here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm really excited, man. We on to the Contender Series, Dana White Contender Series, Week 2. That's the card that I will be fighting on. I'll be the second fight on the card. So that's one of the other beauties that I really love about it is I get to fight early and let's go and get this. When you've been in camp
Yeah.
for so long, you don't want to just get to the day and still be waiting. It's like I've usually have been on the back end of cards for so long. Usually around the main event or the co-main or the fight before the co-main, the feature fight. So I've always been right there. Personally, I am happy that I'm a little bit early on the card. Like, give me one fight in before me, and let's go and get this thing over with, man. I'm ready. People are ready to see it, and I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm fighting a guy named Cam Ralston. Cam, tall, long range striker, trains out of City Kickboxing. He's from Australia. He's now lives in New Zealand, obviously City Kickboxing. Trains with a really good team, which we will be talking about all their fights coming up. He trains with Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, Carlos Ober, Cara France. He trains with all those guys at that gym. So he comes out of a respectable gym, have really good coaches, and good striker, solid BJJ. So he does some really good things, but I am really confident of what I'm able to bring to the table. And I'm really confident what I'm able to do on August 20th.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at some stuff on him. So we got the Punisher going against Van Damme, is what they say.
Yeah, Van Damme.
We'll see if he can kind of live up to that name there. I see he's 8-2. I was trying to go back and see how he lost the two, but I'm not really seeing that information.
Talking about
If
on
it was like
YouTube or
No, just here on Tapology. Normally that's where I go. Just you're the one that introduced me to that, so
oh,
I normally
it's right
just
there. You don't see it on his name?
yeah. I see where it says 8-2, but I can't go back and see what the two losses.
Oh, click on his name. It'll show you. Click on his name. I know
Okay.
what they are, but
Oh, you know what? You're right. I was just looking at the fight itself. Good
mhm.
job. Okay, yeah. So he lost strikes and lost in a decision early on, and the other interesting thing that I see is that he hasn't fought in what year and 10 months. Is that what it's saying here? So
Mhm.
it's been a minute. He's had two cancellations since then. So this guy's, it's been a minute since he's fought. So we'll see. Maybe will that play into his favor? Will he be more fresh, or will he? Is it kind of similar to other sports where you kind of get out of your rhythm? We see this oftentimes, and I don't know. I like to kind of compare it a little bit to postseason baseball a little bit. I'm not a big baseball guy by any means, but I know what was it, a year or two ago, the Braves, they were real hot and they got a first round bye. And so they had all that time to chill. And then by the time they got back, they were just, all that momentum was gone.
All in the
So
middle was
I
gone. Yeah.
wonder if it's going to be something like that with this dude.
That's actually a real thing. A lot of people talk
Mm-hmm.
about it. It's called that ring rust, and he hadn't
Okay.
fought MMA since again September of 2022. So it's going to be just right under 2 years since he fought. Now he did fight last June. He
Mm-hmm.
did fight in a kickboxing tournament.
Okay. So a little different.
So he will, he at least he's had the live competition and he's fought.
He's been
But
sparring, no doubt, all
yes,
that
and he's
kind of
been
stuff.
sparring. He's been training. They say he's consistently been training. But the thing is, it's like it's still not the same MMA. Like you that King of the Ring thing he did, he won it before and he won it again. Is when you do 3 fights in one night. Congratulations to him. Like that's really good. 3 kickboxing fights in one night. And the thing is, it's the time in between. It's the time from that fight till this fight. And I tell people, man, it's like unless you've been in like a lot of one-on-one stuff, which I'm sure he has because he's done kickboxing, done jiu-jitsu, but like walking to that UFC Apex, no walkout music. You walk in, you're ready. You get two guys, they're ready to fight, and you just go. There's not much of like it's hard to prepare for that. Even though I was ready for that from wrestling, it's like it is hard to prepare for that unless you go through and have that experience. And I think those lights will definitely play dividends. It's not easy. I mean, people can tell you, but it's better for you to experience than for somebody to be able to tell you. in that type of situation, especially with athletics. I do think it might play a little dividend because he isn't known to be a fast starter. He's usually a slower starter, but and again, he ain't fought in 2 years, so he could show some things differently. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I've learned is like you can obviously get better, but once you get your core, that's your core, and you're not just going to miraculously change up your game that what you've been doing
Yeah.
for the past few years. Like the reason why you became 8-2 is because of what you've been doing. You're not just going to miraculously change it up on fight number 11. You know, it's like it just doesn't happen. So it's just like any other coach. I mean, you see football coaches that does very similar things they did 10 years ago. People use that and like, oh, look how he coached this certain formation on this team, and then he goes and coach another team, use very similar formations, and you still see the same thing, probably just with different athletes and different players. But that's not the case with fighting. I mean, it's the same guy. Yeah, he might be sharper, he might be different, or maybe quicker, or maybe more on point. But there's just a lot of different things that I feel like I have gotten better because I'm not the same
Mm-hmm.
fighter that I was in May. I'm not the same fighter that I was last year on the Contender Series. So um,
You're
I know
always
for a
adding
fact.
to your overall repertoire. I feel like you're going
Yeah,
to different places, going to Denver, going to Vegas. Learning different methods. That's one thing I do admire about you. I think you're always looking to grow, and that's important.
yeah, that's the beauty of like the fight game. You can't be too much. You can't have an ego. Some people, that I feel like that I know that's been in not necessarily my position, but similar. Like, oh, things are going successful. Oh, I'm winning. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to listen to y'all because I'm winning. But I don't think that way because I think like there's always a chance. And I don't like to ever leave up anything to chance. So I like to go in and take things into my own hands and all right, let me go get better. Okay, if I'm going over here and I'm at a huge disadvantage, okay, let me go utilize and work on that disadvantage. Okay, while I'm still continuing to work on my strengths, but let me go work on my disadvantages as well. So like, I feel like yes, I have grown as a fighter, and as I've been saying, I am more confident going into this fight than any fight that I ever went into. Compared to last year, I was confident against Yuri. Yeah, I was excited. Yeah, I definitely knew I
Yeah.
could beat Yuri, but it was more of the confidence. Man, are you ready for the UFC? I mean, man, this whole journey had been going so quick. Like I had just started MMA,
Yeah.
really, and I'm already on a Contender Series, and now this year I'm more than ready to be ready for the UFC. Like I'm ready for anything that comes my way. I'm more than ready. So like now there's no questioning, there's no second guessing. Like you throw me somebody, I know I'm going to be prepared to go against them. And I feel like now I'm more confident going into this contender series fight than I was against last year. And Yuri was a solid opponent. Yuri
Yeah, he
was
was.
good, and a lot of respect to him. But and Cam is solid as well. But I definitely think those two guys had two different things to
It,
offer, and
yeah, I was
and
about
I,
to, exactly what I was about to say. I was over here looking while you were talking a little bit. I just to look at because you brought up YouTube, so I was like, let me just look up a little bit to see what this guy's like, and
mhm.
they do have two different fight styles. Now it looks like he's not afraid to kind of go to the ground either. I mean, he's gotten down there. It looks like the rear naked choke is his
It
go to
is.
move, as
Mhm.
most people's I feel like are. Like I feel like growing up, that's the one thing like my
Yeah,
uncle, he would always it was like a little thing he did in the house. He would get you in the thing, and he would say, "You control the head, you control the body." He would do like that all
that's
the
right.
time, and
That's right. That's right. That is
but
true. You
everybody's
know,
go to was that it's for lack of better terms, it's simple, but it looks like he gets you on the ground. He'll go for those. He's going to be throwing some hands.
mhm.
But one thing I'm noticing is also you may have fought some. I feel like you fought some guys like him.
Mhm.
At least similar-ish.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's fought somebody like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he's that's and I see that little grin getting on you.
that's good.
But
I mean, you're
like
not
I don't know
lying.
if he's fought somebody that's gonna pick him up above the top of the cage and slam him if they get the opportunity. And I think that's going to rock his world if you are able to do that. Now, I'm not here to give anybody bulletin board material or anything like that, but I'm interested to see how this one's going to go. And one of the questions I was going to ask is I think last time we were watching, they had some odds going on, like live odds on who wins this. I wonder if they're going to be doing the same thing, this
They
time around.
are. Yeah, they
I'd
are. They
love to
are.
get involved in that action, but also I just don't know if the odds are going to be, you know, good enough to really capitalize, if that makes sense. Like I'm sitting
Yeah,
here
I
looking
think.
on Tapology and. it's 94% to 6% in
Yeah.
somebody's favor. But I'm wondering if that's going to reflect in these odds, like if it's going to be like
Well,
a
well, see, this is the thing.
crazy outlandish number.
It's like, I look at it like, you remember when we talk about Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier, like respect to Poirier, everything he's done, but Islam was that much better, and it's like, but the fight was still competitive,
It
and
was a lot of
that's
heart on Poirier's
a lot
part.
of heart on Poirier, and that's one of the things that going into this fight is like, I definitely take into account. Cam is going to be competitive. He's going to work hard. He's going to, really try to bring it, because you have to look at the other side. Look at all the optics. He's 29. He's city kickboxing. He pulled out of his last year's contender series fight, so you don't know how many more chances he'd be able to get. It's like things of that nature, and I just feel like, but I have more to offer. I just have a lot more to bring to the table, and yeah, I definitely, again, I respect him, but I don't think he's ever seen anything like me. When I look at his two losses, granted, it was before he got to city kickboxing. He was training at another gym. His two losses came both to short wrestlers. One took him down for 3 rounds. The other one knocked him out in the first round. And that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I'm one of his kryptonites. A short wrestler, a guy that he sees and like, oh man, this guy is a short wrestler that I got to deal with. So I think seeing that, after seeing those things, and yes, I know for a fact he's grown and gotten better, but I just feel like what I bring to the table, and people don't respect a lot of the things that I do in my game. It's like, I don't say people don't, but I don't think I've gotten that respect of one. People see my size and say, oh, he ain't got no cardio. He ain't gonna last through finish. He ain't gonna barely finish the first round. Or, oh, they don't talk about my jiu-jitsu. They only just see my wrestling. Or, oh, they don't really see much of my striking. So I feel like I have
Yeah,
so
I've
many.
heard the striking. It's
Yeah,
easy to say something about your height, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I mean, like,
that's what I'm
that's a
saying.
given. But I don't know the jujitsu part. I mean, but then again, you hear a lot more than me on that. I haven't heard too many people crack on the ground game. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because they just think I'm a wrestler. They don't think
Yeah.
anything else about
Now
grappling.
you do kind of like you lean toward that way, but after you get that going, from there you do have different tools that you use. I feel like you've
Well,
done more
well,
than just your basic
that's
stuff.
the thing with like wrestling. Like wrestling is only on the feet if you think about it. The moment the fight hits the mat, it is all jujitsu. So I think that's the problem that a lot of people mix up with like grappling. They see,
Hmm.
oh well, he's just a wrestler. Like, no, like I can do some jujitsu now. Like, I can grapple. Like, because of what I do on top, it comes from my jujitsu. So I think I'm definitely gonna, see myself grow a lot more. And this fight, I definitely, if it gets to that point, but I definitely think a lot of people will see a lot of the growing areas of where I've gotten better at it. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I am too, man. I am too. We're gonna be getting together, getting some folks together to watch this thing. I'm gonna be definitely tuning in live. It's gonna be a fun one, man. I'm looking forward to it. And like you said, I feel like and this isn't to put words in your mouth or to to say anything out of turn, but I do feel like and it's perfectly reasonable. Like you probably did have some nerves, the first go
Mhm.
around. I feel
Yeah,
like there's going to be less of that this time. I think you're a little bit more comfortable. You know what you're getting into here. Everything's been leaning up to this point, so
yeah.
the bright lights, man. I think you're gonna be ready for it. I think you're definitely gonna be ready for it. Not that you weren't last time. It's just we know how that one played out. I think this
Mhm.
time we're gonna get over the hump. I think you're
Well,
definitely gonna do it,
no.
bro.
Yes,
I think you're
sir.
gonna do it. I
I
think you're gonna
believe
do
so
it,
too.
man.
I believe
I
so too,
believe
man.
in you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you said you wanted to get into UFC 305 here. Now, were you mainly wanting to talk about main card, or I'll let you kind of
Let's
swing
just
this where you want to go?
We could just do main card.
Okay,
Yeah. So, well, let me see the prelim real quick. I didn't get a chance to
you
really
can
see it.
highlight some guys if you want to.
Yeah, this prelim. No, the prelim's all right. It ain't. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
the prelim ain't it. Nah, it's not it.
Herbert
So
Burns. I see a Burns. I know that normally
that's his
that means
brother.
something.
That's
Yeah.
his, yeah. Well, we'll get to the main card. So we got Li Ji Liang versus Carlos Prates. I'm gonna be honest with you, be straight up honest with you. I don't know much about Carlos Prates. To be honest with you, I know about Ji Liang. Obviously, he fought Shemaev. I know he lost his last fight by split decision. I really think. This is going to be a really good competitive fight. I just think like G usually, so he won his last fight by knockout and he lost to Daniel Rodriguez by decision. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm seeing, okay, so yeah, because Carlos Prates beat Charles Ratke, and then he beat Trevin Giles. Oh, so yeah, this guy's on a hot streak right now.
Yeah,
This
he
Carlos Prates, he's on a
is.
hot
He's
streak.
he's on. He's got 5 KOs, TKOs like in a row.
Oh
This
man,
dude's on fire.
well,
Yeah,
this is gonna be a little bit of a banger, man. And look,
yeah,
look, G Liang, man, he's not no easy guy to put away. But I definitely think, with the way this look like it's getting built up, I think Carlos Prates gets this one. I think he wins this
yeah.
fight.
That's where I'm leaning to. It's just the way this is leading, the momentum and everything from looking at it. Hard to go against it. That's what I'm going with
It's
as
very
well.
hard to go against.
I'm excited about this next one now because I feel like I
Me
haven't seen
too.
this one guy in forever, Tatu Avasa. That's
Yeah.
matter
Got
of
to it.
fact, the last time I think I paid attention to him was the last time he won. And man, looking at it now, this dude's on a four
Fight
loss
losing
streak right
streak.
now.
Yeah, he
Yes.
lost
Oh
four in a
God,
row, man. He has lost four in a row, and
man,
there's been a
what a fall from
problem.
grace.
Well, the thing is, it's like, I'm be honest with you, the matchups he's been getting lately
Well, Cyril
have
Gahn's
been.
tough.
Cyril Gahn knocked him out, yes, but
Pavlovich,
the other one,
Volkov.
Sergey knocked him out. Alexander Volkov took him down, choked him. Marcin Tybura, who just won, oh, he just lost his last fight actually, but took him down, rear naked choked him. So we're looking at guys that just been able to take him down and do whatever.
Top end talent.
Yeah, like now he's finally going against another striker. Now, this is the beauty of this one. Now, Ty is a company man. So I don't think him losing is going to put him out of the UFC, but he on thin ice, I'll tell you that much. So
If he can win and chug the beer out of the shoe, then he's back in the graces of
I think
everybody.
this is a favorable matchup for him, but I be honest with you, man. Rosenstrike's a beast, man. Like Rosenstrike's the truth, dude. And I like Rosenstrike because Rosenstrike, look, he signed with first round management.
Oh,
He's good. He just
talk
beat
about
Shamil.
company man.
Right, right. I mean, he lost to Jalton Almeida. I mean, Almeida's a monster,
Uh-huh.
man. He knocked
Yeah.
out Chris Dawkins. I mean, he lost to Volkov. Volkov's about to fight for a title eliminator. So I mean, his only losses is to killers, all guys that competed for the title. I mean, Nagano, Cyril Gahn, Curtis Blades, Volkov, Almeida, who will soon be competing for the title. So they're the only guys that he's actually lost. He lost the top 5 ranked guys. I don't think Tatu Avasa is a top 5 ranked guy unless Rosenstrike is on the back end of his career, which you could make a case because he is 36. But for
Yeah.
heavyweights, that extends out a little bit longer. So I'm going to go with Rosenstrike in this
Okay. Yeah, my one question is, it's no secret to Avasa. He's got some chub on him now. He's a little chubby. He's a chubby guy. You know what I'm saying? He's got a little weight on him. He's tossing around. Should this fight, go longer than a round or two, will he be able to stick with it? Will he not get gassed? That kind of thing. I trust Rosenstrike's fitness a little bit more. I'd love to pick Tuivasa because I just love the guy. I think he's fun. I think he's good
one.
for the UFC. Everybody gets hyped when that dude wins. But I think I'm gonna go with Rosenstrike as well. I'm gonna have to ride with you on that one again.
Yeah, I'm after the. That's just that type of fight, man. So next
Yeah.
we have, now this is a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Motuiz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. Now the thing is, all right, they finally gave Hooker's on what, a 2-fight winning streak. They finally gave Hooker a top 5 guy. He's been wanting one for a minute. He ain't had one in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this. This is not a great matchup for him. Like, Gamrot is doing everything he can to eventually fight for the title. He really is. But, because of Gamrot's style is a lot different. He's mainly a wrestler. He barely throws any strikes. He wrestles, he throws wild kicks, and he tries to shoot, and he'll wrestle you for 3 straight rounds consistently, nonstop. The problem with
Mm-hmm.
Gamrot is Gamrot doesn't throw many ground and pound. Like he's not going to necessarily finish you if you get it. You know, you're going to get taken down, and you just. I mean, if there's an opportunity for a sub, he'll go for it, but he just going to basically sprint on you the entire time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how well that's going to work. Um, Overall, if he can, at least sustain some damage to Dan. But I will say this: I don't think Dan Hooker's wrestling is on the level of Gamrot's. I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit off. I know he got subbed by what's the guy's name? Islam Makachev, but he took that fight on short notice. But I've seen other people take Dan Hooker down that is not even close to the wrestling of Gamrot. I mean, I've seen Poirier take him down. So, like, I do not think, yeah, I don't think Hooker is going to be able to deal with that wrestling. I think Gamrot by decision.
I hate to keep it boring. I hate to keep it chalk. I like Dan Hooker. I think he's real fun to watch, especially if you're a fan of fireworks. You know, like if you like the fun fights where it just can turn into a slobber knocker. These guys just throwing hands the whole entire time. I feel like he's great for it. I remember that. And I've referenced this multiple times. That Hooker Poirier fight. You know, a
One of the
couple
best
years ago.
fights.
That was sick. That was sick. I'll always be fond of that one. But if this thing goes on the ground, then and like you said, if this guy fights the way you're talking, if he's willing to take this thing 3 rounds on the ground, that's just a recipe for success. You know, for him, if he can just do what he has to win instead of taking chances. Why put yourself in a position of taking the chance to lose? You know, he can just get the for sure win on the ground, and I think that's where I'm going to have to lean here. I'm going to
I'm
have to go
about
with
to say
Gamrot as
he's
well.
ranked number 5 in the UFC. I mean, you rate number 5, you get another win. I mean, look, Islam just said had a little hand surgery or hand operation, so there's potential Armin Tshirkian versus him for interim title. Obviously, if he wins, you got people up in the air for interim titles. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
Gamrot is literally right there to be next in contention for the title. So, I really think that we are going to be seeing, like Gamrot, he's not going to take no chances on the opportunity to fight for the title. I mean, I know a lot of people might not like his style. Like a lot of people compare him to Bilal Muhammad, but guess what? Bilal Muhammad
He
kept
gets
winning.
wins.
He wins, and that's what Gamrot did. He just said, "I'm just gonna keep winning," and that's why I like their mindset. I'm not the biggest fan of some of their stuff. Like I like wrestling, I'm a wrestler myself, but I look to try to get you out of there. With them, sometimes they just okay with holding. So, but guess what? It wins. So you can't get mad at people that looking to win. So I think Gamrot is definitely going to do that in this fight.
Awesome.
Next we have Kakar France versus Steve Ursig. Now, Steve Ursig just competed for the title. He just fought the 125er champion Alexandra Patoja. So Patoja, that was a great fight. It was neck and neck. It came down to like literally the final round, and it was a great fight. Steve Ursig is just he's good, man. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, when he came into the UFC, he took that fight on short notice, came in and beat the guy. I'll never forget that he beat I think a ranked guy. I think David Dvorak. Yeah, beat David on short notice and beat him by decision. So a lot of respect to him. He literally only had 3 UFC fights, and his fourth fight was for the title. Imagine that. You only fight 3 UFC fights, and your fourth fight is for the title. That is how much they were big on him getting ready because he was that good. I mean, he was just phenomenal. Kakar France, hey, the man's got to trying to get back on a streak. He's doing his thing. I think this is going to be a really tough fight. I really do. I think there's going to be a tough fight on both sides. I can see this definitely going to decision. Kakar France obviously has the experience, but he's on a 2-fight losing streak, man. And
Yeah, he is.
um, this is also in Steve Ursig hometown. I mean, home state or country because he's on Australia. I know
Mm-hmm.
Kakar France is literally, the New Zealand boys. They're basically right across the river from
Yeah.
Australia, but this is Ursig's place. I don't see Ursig losing at home. Give me Steve Ursig.
I'm gonna go Kakar France on this one. This will be the first one we differ on. I'll trust the the experience of Kai France in this one to get it done. And that
Yeah.
it's going to be. I mean,
Steve is
these
young. Steve is
Australians and
young.
New Zealanders they get into it, man. So there's some rivalry aspect to this. I think they're going to
That is
be
true.
going at
That
it.
is true. Yeah, they don't like to keep the Kiwis and the Aussies.
Yeah,
Oh man. All right, now here we
one
go to
more.
the big dog, the main event. Israel Adesanya versus Dricus Duplessis, the champion himself. Dricus is the man. Dricus just beat Sean Strickland earlier this year. Um, Late last year, he beat Robert Whitaker. Um, Dricus is on a run right now. Like that is incredible. I mean, to beat Robert Whitaker, then to beat Sean Strickland. If you now beat Israel Adesanya, you're gonna start making some claims like real quick. Like you
Yeah,
would have ran through some dogs of the dogs. You would have ran through three former champions. Three. Robert Whitaker, Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya. Let me tell you, man, Dricus is a dog, man. Dricus is phenomenal. Um, Big, strong. Izzy, really good, quick on his feet. But I think the problem is, again, Izzy hasn't fought in a year. He hasn't fought since he fought Strickland. All right. Izzy used to be very active when he was champion. Obviously, he took off a little bit of time, regathered because he was so active. Now, I think him getting ready for Dricus, he put on a little size, try to get a little bigger, try to get a little more muscular, trying to get a little more stout. I think that plays into his disadvantage, actually. You cannot try to be a brute when you was never a brute in the beginning. I think sometimes guys try to put on muscles and try to put on size. Yes, you took a year off to do this because you knew you was eventually going to fight Dricus, or let's just say 6 months because I don't Dricus won champion. Let's just say you take 6 months preparing to put on size to get ready to fight Dricus. That's not going to be enough because Dricus has been like this his entire career. It's going to be hard to go into a brute's area and try to out physical him when he's been that way. Now, if you still can continue to keep that speed and all that extra stuff, that's going to make you great. But how often do we see that? Izzy is what, 35, 36? He's on the back end of his prime. Hard for me to see that, to be honest with you, man. They both got a huge rivalry. It's a big time fight. Dricus don't back up, man. And Dricus has the grappling advantage. Dricus is strong. Dricus come forward. Yes, now Izzy has the power that can put him out. So does Dricus. And a guy that's not going to back up, which I think a lot of people do when they fight Izzy, they stay on that back foot a little bit too much. Like they be in his face, but then they're scared to engage. Dricus won't be scared to engage. Give me Dricus Duplessis in this
how is Dricus's ground game?
one. Really good. I mean, you saw how he
Really
took
good.
down Robert Whitaker. Um,
So you got Darren
able
Till in a submission.
sub Darren Till, was able to take
Mm-hmm.
down, stave off a few, and be able to take down Derek Bronson. So um, it's solid. It is. He's
Yeah.
got solid wrestling. His jiu-jitsu ain't that great, but he got solid top game because he's so heavy and big.
Yeah, that's one thing. As far as like with Izzy goes, I know that that's something I try to steer away from. If he's going to get somebody that I know can just take him down, keep him down, kind of thing, that's just he's not going to fare too high. Even though I know he's gotten a little better against it since. Who was it he went against? It was a while back. Izzy had a loss because he went against somebody that was just bigger than him. I can't even
Oh,
remember who it
Jan
was.
Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz.
Yes. And how big is Jan Blahovic compared to Duplessis?
In terms of like height, they're the same, but like Drake
The
is
weight
obviously
different
fighting
though.
at 85, where Jan fought
Yeah.
at 205. That fight was at 205.
Okay.
But I think the
Well,
beauty of Dricus is, I mean, Dricus Dricus is gonna like just come forward, and it's just gonna be like,
Adesanya's going to try to keep the distance. I feel like he's got
yeah.
the reach. He tries to hang back like he always does. It's can
And
he close
Dricus
that distance and can he
and
can
it
he?
goes the distance. And Dricus did
Yeah.
say in an interview that he's looking to try to go out there and knock out his other son. He said he's not looking to get takedowns. People say that until they get
Interesting.
into the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. As I say, I feel like the game plan's going to switch up.
Yeah.
Um, I have no doubt that Izzy can win this, but I'm going to side with you on this, and I'm going to go Drakus as well.
Good fight. Gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. All right. So then we go into U.S. Olympic basketball. Were you able to catch the gold medal game yesterday?
Uh-uh. I was able to see some of the highlights. I did not be able to catch
Mm-hmm.
the whole game. It was back and forth. I
Yeah,
definitely started a text on Wimby, and yeah, Wimby's gonna be a dog in the
he's
future.
ridiculous, bro.
He is, man. His length, his size. I mean, if he's able to pack on any ounce of muscle, it is gonna be a problem for a lot of people. It's gonna be a problem for a lot of people, man. So Wimby is a dog, but man, once again, when the fourth quarter hit, that
Yep.
boy Stephen Curry, I will say,
Yeah, he
man,
did.
as
He went
crazy
off.
as it sounds, that LeBron and Steph Curry like tandem that would be
It's
fun to watch
ridiculous.
in an
Yeah,
actual team. That would be fun
they
to watch.
really would be. I think that's something like LeBron would like to see it happen, but I just don't think it's ever gonna come to being because I don't think he's gonna ever go to Golden State. But if that would ever happen, obviously time's ticking on that deal. But if it were to happen, I think that would be very scary to go against. Honestly,
Yeah,
they
that
work
that
together
that
so
is
well.
that is. I mean, you sitting there seeing how Steph Curry, and not only that game, but let's even look at like
The
the
Serbia
Serbia.
game, he had to really
Mhm.
carry them through the end there to come back.
He did. And Jokic, doing his little thing. Them boys. I'm gonna tell you, man, those overseas guys, man, they really are bringing in that. Olympic basketball is definitely closing in. I mean, if you look at our top players in the NBA, is Jokic, is Giannis. He's up
Wimby,
there. Wimby. Like you got some guys up there.
Luca,
Luca, that's right. So you got
got
a
a
good
lot
bit
of
of
them.
guys up there that are not American. So it's definitely growing internationally, and you're definitely seeing the guys be a lot better at this game. I will say this. I want to bring this up because we're hearing a lot about it. What are your thoughts on Jason Tatum not getting a lot of playing time?
I mean, to me, you know how I am. I'm a big team oriented guy, over the self kind of thing. Or at least that's typically like what I'd like to try to preach at least. But it's no different than Gobert hardly seeing any minutes. It's no different than some like Derek White and Halliburton weren't able to see a ton of minutes. Especially I don't think they played at all in the Olympic gold medal game. But some of these teams, it depending on matchups, you don't always go to some of the people you would think you would go to. You got to think with all the top end talent that this team has, they can theoretically play around with things. They can say maybe this isn't a game that Jason Tatum can help us. But notice, I think it was hold on, he played a good bit against Serbia, if I'm not mistaken, and they started. I don't know if they started him or not. Hang on, let me see here, because I know that was a thing they had. They ended up switching up because let's see the
I don't remember him
semifinal
ever
game.
starting. Not that I know of.
You might be right. Let me look here because I know he was going to get minutes in that one here, August 8th. Hang on, looking at the box score real quick. There it is. No, so didn't start, but hold on, no, he didn't even play in that one. What was the team? No, it was South Sudan, I believe, in that game. Let me see, United
Mm,
States and South Sudan, because there was one game they used him especially because of his switchability, like
mhm.
on screens. They wanted to end up using him in a way to where they could switch everything to get what they needed. Let's see, that was that one. Yes, he did start that game. Played.
Okay.
He started and had 17 minutes in that one, but that was just because that team literally it's a game to game basis thing. Like there's things you could do against France that you can't do against South Sudan. There's things that you can do against South Sudan that you can't do against Serbia.
Mhm.
And especially France in that aspect because France has so much size. They can employ Wembanyama out there. They can, Gobert. They have another guy that's pretty solid, Lasort. I thought was pretty good when I was watching. But Sedan, it was they got a lot of fast moving. The big man ain't just your traditional post up, stay down low. They can move. These guys are athletic and they can move, and they did pretty good in this Olympics. But as far as him not playing a lot, it's a game by game thing, man. And I know it can hurt some feelings at times. I don't think he should read too much into it. But then again, that's what you're dealing with when you get a guy that's now. I think right now he's the highest paid player in the league,
Yeah.
as we speak. It's hard not to get your ego going on that, but a little check for him. Just wasn't able to get used in it. But I'm not against it by any means. I think that the right people were on the floor when things needed to happen. I think you needed LeBron. I think you needed KD. I think you needed Steph. Drew Holiday definitely brings things to the table that some other guys can't. They even pulled Embiid. I don't think Embiid played much in the second half at all. Like they ended up having to go to AD and bam, his feelings ain't hurt. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to be willing to do what you got to do for the team.
Yeah,
That's
you're right about
that's where
that.
I'm at
You're
with
right
it.
about that. Like I continue to see that a lot as well. Looking at Tatum, you know, I'm sure he was happy to win. I mean, I even saw Halliburton make a tweet or something on his Instagram. When you get a plus on a group
On the
project you're
group
doing,
project,
yeah,
yeah.
like I mean, you're a gold medalist, in the Olympics, but as any competitor, you want to be a part of. You want to be one of the reasons why. We're all
Hmm.
athletes. We're all human beings. We want to be one of the reasons why something succeeds. And
Yeah.
literally, he played no. I mean, you could take every minute and every shot he ever took, or every dribble that he ever dribbled, and take it all away, and it still wouldn't matter on the success of the Olympic team this year. He didn't
Yeah.
play, but I understand where Tatum was coming from because according to most people in the media, according to most people, well, depending on who you are, not I would. That's why I say in the media.
You
But
know
folks
how I feel
have
about him.
Tatum.
I'm not an over the moon guy about Tatum.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a
I
good
definitely know that
player,
about
but he's not like I don't know. He's not like
media
top 10 in
guys.
my
Got him
opinion.
top five. Most media people,
That's
most
just not
lists you
true.
see,
That's just
they
not
have him
true.
in the top five. I agree. I don't.
That's just
I
not
say he's
true.
top 10, but I would have him as my
I
top
don't
five.
even know, man. I'd have to sit here and list them out. I really
Mm,
would. Who
I
would
have
you say?
to.
If we could, here's a little exercise. Let's go through it
All right,
right now.
let's
I
see.
would take Steph.
All right,
I would still take LeBron, and I know that's like you know how
okay.
I feel about it, but I still think he's
I'm
proven
not
it in my
against that.
opinion.
No,
Even
no,
in
he
this
wouldn't.
KD with what he can do, I'd still take him, and I know that's could be taken as crazy.
All right,
Let's see here, three Luca. As far as
Luca.
the NBA, right?
Yeah, far as
Luca in the
NBA.
NBA.
I got you. You
Let's
got
see
Luca,
here. Let's see here. Help me out here. If you Giannis, I gotta go
Giannis.
Giannis.
I agree with you.
Let's see
Yep.
here. If you hear anybody, or if you know I'm skipping
Um,
anybody, let me know. Any big name ones. I don't know if I go James Harden. I don't know if I
I
go
would do James
Kawhi
Harden
just because
now.
of the
No, I
Kawhi's
would do
kind of
James.
played himself
I think
out.
those actually guys are talent wise they are, but like this not because of their
Yeah,
consistency. I can't.
trying to think about
Um,
who else
I mean,
could two
we're at
wise.
five. It's a little hard when you think about it. I mean, what you
I
think
want
about?
to be selective, but I'm gonna be honest with you here, and this is gonna say I don't
Would
think
you
this is gonna
take
sound
Anthony
crazy.
Edwards over him?
Yes. Yes. Long term, I think I would. Long term, I think I really like it. You know how I feel about Anthony Edwards.
I like Anthony Edwards. No, I
I
Anthony
love
Edwards.
Anthony. I love me some Anthony Edwards. I think he's gonna be fire. Here's my thing. I don't think it shouldn't be taken as a hot take, but Victor Wembanyama. I'm being dead serious. Like I'm so high on him right now. I think he is like a top 10 asset as is right now as a
Right now.
rookie. Only played a year. Yeah, he's that guy's legit. That guy's legit. Yeah, I really do feel good about
You,
him.
you put him top 10. You put him amongst a
I
lot
think
of top
I
tier
think I
centers right
am.
now.
I would put AD maybe in that mix. I think AD with the way he impacts both ends of the court. I'm right there with him on that.
Oh, Jokic, I forgot. We forgot about
Yo,
had
definitely
Jokic.
Jokic. Yeah, we
Jokic.
got to throw Jokic in there.
Yeah, Jokic. We had Jokic. You got Embiid. I
I got
forgot about that.
Wembenyama. I'm putting Wembenyama in
You
there at
got
like eight or
Wembanyama up
nine.
there. I
I
don't
am.
have
I'm gonna
both
put
of
him.
them, but I got you. I got you.
I,
So
I'm
we
I'm
got
going
eight.
to.
We got eight. It's like
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go top five, top 10. I don't know. We'd have
top
to
10,
see,
top 10.
but
We probably still
I'd
have
have
to
to think
name
about
drop.
it more.
Yeah, I
But
definitely
yeah,
agree. I mean, look, the man just won the championship. He was a big reason why. Granted, I know Jaylen Brown was the MVP, which I think rightfully deserved. But I think they're like the two-headed monster. Like they have to be together. It's like
mm-hmm.
they're twins. It's like a little bit with the Pistons. All right, in the '80s, you had Isaiah Thomas, you had Joe Dumars. You took one
Mm-hmm.
away, regardless was it Dumars, regardless was it Isaiah. You had to have both of them. Like that's what made them. And I know Isaiah had more of the name because of like certain games, but I think we might come into that same situation. Jason Tatum is going to have more of the name, where Brown might have did a little bit more work, but he's going to have more of the name because of what he was doing. He was young. I mean, Tatum was the true star now, and then like okay, we started to really see Brown develop more. But I think Tatum, is right there. And I think it's just going to require him continue to win more. It's just the
Yeah.
man that won the title. They dominated the playoffs. Um, they've literally been dominating the past. They've been dominating the East the past few years. They just choke it up towards the end. But except for this year, but they've been, Tatum and Brown has been right there together. But you can
Mm-hmm.
definitely see how it's hard to not be mad at not playing in the Olympic Games, and his mom made a tweet about something as well. So it's all understandable, but I don't think it was necessary. I mean, you got Kevin Durant. They had Kevin Durant coming off the bench. They finally started him in the final game yesterday. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, if KD's coming off the bench, then my goodness.
If he with his ego, and we all know he's got himself an ego. If he can with his ego put that in the back and do what he's got to do for the team, and realize you still, even though I'm not starting, I'm still going to get minutes, and even if I don't get minutes in this game, I'll get minutes in that game, kind of thing. Like it's all a matter of mindset. And here's the other thing Tatum's got to keep in mind: is Steph Curry going to be playing in the next Olympics? No.
No, not too much.
Is LeBron James going to be playing in the next Olympics?
Nope,
No. Is Kevin Durant? No.
probably
Is
not.
Joel Embiid? I don't know. Knowing his health, I really can't tell you. Is AD? I don't know. Knowing his health, I really can't tell you. Like, there's so many question marks. Drew Holiday in 4 years, is he still going to be the same player? There's so many things. But Tatum, like Tatum, Halliburton, these kinds of guys that they think about it. They didn't do anything, but they got on they got the A on the group project.
Yeah,
They're the future though. Like literally, it is so like people don't realize like just being involved, just being at this Olympics, being able to take it in, experience it, see how these guys that have been in this game for long enough prepare, go through their day-to-day routines, things like that. Like that's going to be invaluable at the next Olympics, and we're gonna really need these guys because it's going to be hosted here in America, right? I'm pretty sure
right.
the next one's in America.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to put on,
you're right.
bro. We're gonna have to put on big time,
Yeah, you're right
and we're
about
gonna
that
need
because
them.
we're losing some of our stars, and like I just said, the international stars are the stars that are taking over for the NBA now. So
Yeah.
if we think
Edwards is going to be in that mix. Like
that was being a mix,
there's a lot of guys that are going to step up.
I heard there was talks about Embiid thinking about trying to switch teams. I don't know if you can do that personally, but he's talked about it. I don't know if you can switch.
I think technically he could have played for France. I think technically he could have played for like Nigeria or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know if
he's grew up in different places.
but if he's looking to do that years come, then there you go, another one. So it's
I
like,
wouldn't be shocked with him. I really wouldn't be shocked. He loves being the heel. Like did you see like I don't know today like yesterday when I was looking at the ceremony where they put the medals on him, that all the people just boo. He's just sitting there doing like that.
he
He
loves
was
that.
just he loves it. He likes. I don't know. I feel like he would be a good WWE guy.
He would be.
Just
He would
he
be.
would just love being the guy that just takes
I
all
mean,
the crown.
imagine that. He goes to France, avenges France of beating US in
Oh,
the
they would
US.
love him
Wow,
then.
that's so funny. France beat the US in the US while the US had beat France this year in
Yeah,
France. So it's like I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised in that in the slightest. But again, we see these guys consistently. I think the basketball Olympic was a success, and also props to the women, man. They beat
Yeah, I
France.
watched that
They still
today.
continue their winning streak. Came down to literally foot on the line at the
Woo,
buzzer.
yeah. No
Wow,
kidding. Yeah.
incredible. You know what's crazy?
What?
Congratulations to France. Back, you got both women and men in the basketball gold final. I mean, in the finals. That's an appreciation, man. Is like
Yeah.
a lot of these people are starting to try to catch up. I mean, we tied with China for gold. It did come down to a few things here and there, like the jump off. It came down to there was a few things that was neck and neck. I mean, Noah Lyles had got COVID
COVID, yeah.
on his brunt on the what was it 200-meter run.
200, yeah.
He won the 100-meter. He by the chin of his chin, boy. Boy, that was a tight race. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was like
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. You know what? Today we were going back. I was with my family. I seen something on TikTok about it, so I was like, let's check this out. There was the breakdancing. They had breakdancing. Like that was an Olympic
Oh,
event. It was actually pretty neat. I
the
grew up watching
girl,
America's Best Dance Crew, so I liked it. I enjoyed it.
did
But
you see the girl from Australia? The one,
um,
it's the one that's going viral. She's like, she has
oh,
a degree in like movement or like body physiology or something like that.
I'll
But
have to
how
go
the
back and watch
body?
the women's. I watched the men's today. I'll have to go back and watch the women's then.
Well, her act was the worst one. That if
Oh,
people were like, it was bad, bro. They said it's like when a kid walks in the room and like Hey, Dad, I want to show you me dancing. That's how bad it was. It was
Oh,
that bad. I mean, bro,
Australia.
Australia, yes, breakdance. I mean, just type in Australian woman breakdance. It literally will pop up all over. She had a
Yeah.
whole video of her talking about her movement, her studying movement in college, her having a degree, and then she goes and does the Olympic for breakdancing, and it is absolutely awful.
It's
Dude,
coming
it
up.
is so bad. I mean, it makes you like, there's no way in Australia they said this is our best thing we got coming out of here.
Yeah, like this is the best woman we could put out here.
dude,
Yeah, it's not pretty.
dude, she did like the bunny jump. She did the bunny jump,
I'm looking at it
bro.
now. This is it's not great. It's not great at
Dude,
all. The
oh, it
one,
was
yeah,
so.
I see it right now. The bunny jump. Yeah, I saw.
Oh,
I think it was a Netherlands or something. It was a girl from Netherlands with a do rag going against a girl from
I
America.
think I saw that one. I think I saw that one.
That's the one I was looking at on TikTok. I will have to go back and watch some of them though. But it was an interesting. It was very fun. I liked watching the relays. Freaking
Really?
man, that one guy. I think the dude. It was 100-meter hurdles. Good God, the way that you like having to sprint either. I think it was 100-meter hurdles. Like you're going 100. Already 100-meter sprint just in itself is ridiculous. But like like maybe even 5 steps is a hurdle. So you're
It's a
having to
hurdle.
just boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, go over the whole time. Like that was wild. Our guy won that. Even the 1500, like a really long thing, dude. That got wild too. America at the end got gold and bronze.
that's why I
At the
give a lot of
very end with
props.
that.
That's why I give a lot of props to like our own, homegrown Sherez Ham, man. Being able to get to the Olympic trials and compete. I mean, seeing those hurdles, you're right. Those hurdles are like you barely you run
You
into
don't get
them
to
like
compose yourself between
you
them.
don't. You don't. There's the moment you think is the moment you gonna trip. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
gotta like be
I
on
couldn't
point.
do it.
Yeah,
I
I got
couldn't
to
do
do
it.
that. Yeah, that's special talent, man. It's special talent.
Uh huh. I enjoyed it. Yeah, we ended up tying, and that I think we got most in silver, most in bronze, and then we had most overall. So
We did.
a good overall Olympics for the U.S. Man.
We
Good
did.
overall
We did.
Olympics.
We did.
All right. So previewing NFL season real quick. What are some stuff you want to talk about as far as this upcoming NFL season?
Quick notes, man. Look, I think there's a lot of good things that's going on for the NFL year. Gonna be a lot of good teams, a lot of guys coming back. I'm really excited for the AFC. Obviously, my Pittsburgh Steelers don't know who we're gonna have at quarterback yet, but I'm excited for whatever we get the chance to see. Obviously, you got defending Super Bowl champs, two-time defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, right back in the mix. Now they've had a lot of legal problems. They sound like the University of Georgia over there. Can't
Yeah.
get right, but they are definitely doing their thing. Excited to see what the Chiefs do this year. Obviously, the Ravens always going to be in the picture. Lamar Jackson saying he's losing weight. He lost some weight, so he can be a lot more effective and agile and elusive. That's going to be a dangerous problem if he's going to be more elusive and more agile and faster. So that's going to be definitely a
That's
problem.
that's one thing I'm wondering. How good of a season do you think Lamar is going to have? Because I know he goes through these ups and downs. He did have a great season last year, but he has those games where he just looks amazing, and then one week he just doesn't look it at all. I'm wondering, can he string it together? And is there going to be more reliance on Derrick Henry now that they have him there? Or are they going to still let him air this thing out?
Yes, I think there's going to be more reliance on Derrick Henry. Look, Ravens, you got the team. You got the run game. You got the defense. I still don't think they got the best at wide receiver. I really don't. But
But
regardless,
are they gonna need it though? If you got good defense and you got a good running back, it's just gonna be ground and pound, right?
but what happened actually, take that back. I can't say what happened last year because it literally was their fault. They
You
literally,
have
it's
to
like,
be set up. I get what you're saying because you have to be able to be a team that can also come back in a game if you do get
that's
down.
right, if you get down. But the problem is they put themselves down because they started out throwing the ball. Like, it was
Yeah,
the most Lamar had thrown all year long in one game. And you're like, what are we doing? You're going to wait to the AFC Championship game to start throwing the ball all day,
yeah.
every day? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep running the ball. So unless they get out of their like element of what they actually do, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But that's the thing. It's like when you do play a team like the Chiefs, or if the Jets are high powered on the offense, if you do play a team like the Bengals, and these guys get a little lead, let's say they go up by 10, let's say they go up by 13 or 17, are you able to mount a comeback? or all you can do is just run the ball consistently. Because if you can only do that, you're not gonna be able to come back. That's just the same thing like when you're playing a triple option offense in high school or even college. The
Exactly.
moment you get a lead on those guys, you really got them
It's
in the butt
over.
because it's over. They can't come back. They can't not
Yeah,
gonna come back.
that's my question with them. Like I was just like, because I got him in fantasy. He's one of my keepers. I'm just wondering what kind of season I'm looking for with him. But
He's gonna put up
um,
points. He's gonna put up points.
there's
Y'all.
been there's been more talks about Rashad Bateman again. He's getting some more hype. I don't know whether to buy that or not. Of course, Andrews unlikely. That's good. But I'm trying to think about who else they got. Honestly,
I saw somebody talking about. Well,
oh, Zay Flowers.
It was Kiever talking. I don't know how much of this is a joke or not,
What
but
he
he
say?
said this is the year Bo Nix has improved. On so much under this new offense, he's focused. He's having fun. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the dark horse for Rookie of the Year.
Maybe, but I mean,
I
yeah,
don't know.
Kiefer is a Broncos,
Yeah,
fan. So
I don't know about no Bo Nix right now. I don't know. I will say I like what I saw out of Jaden Daniels in his preseason game. He looked pretty good.
okay,
Jaden Daniels. I'm excited to see what he's able to bring to the table.
yeah.
Um, you know, very interested to see Anthony Richardson actually play.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he got hurt last year, so I'm excited to see him actually like really hopefully get a full season under his belt. So that'll be really interesting to see. Also, excited to see what Kirk Cousins does on the Falcons, man. Let's see what those boys do. What's crazy is the first game of the season they play the Pittsburgh Steelers September 8th in Atlanta. I'm actually going to try to go to that game. The
Oh,
problem is my teammate Trevor Peak fights in Vegas on September 7th. So I'm gonna
you're
try
in a
to fly a
bind.
flight straight from Vegas straight to Atlanta, so I can be ready to go and watch that game. But yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped and excited to see what they are able to bring to the table. So yeah,
Somebody told me that Michael Penix looked pretty good in his preseason game. I don't know. Did you see anything about that?
I didn't get a chance to see Michael Penix. No, I
I
did
didn't
not.
either.
I
I
did
didn't
not.
either. But they
Actually,
said
I
he
did see
didn't.
him complete a pass. He completed some few deep passes. I
9 of
saw
16
the
for
highlight.
104 yards, 41-yard completion to Chris Blair.
That's what it was. That 41 yard. Yeah, he did
Okay,
his thing. Okay.
I'll have to go back and check that out then.
Hmm.
Other things I'm looking at as far as things go, I want to see what the Chargers look like if they get any. Yeah, I want to see what Harbaugh's Chargers look like. I know right now Herbert's dealing with an injury, but I also want to see McConkey. I know they've been saying really good stuff about him. I want to see what he looks like there. Of course, right now he's dealing with a slight injury, so hopefully he gets back pretty quick. But I want to see what Harbaugh's able to do with that team.
Mhm.
If he's able to revamp it, make it something that a kind of contender in a way. Another thing we got to look at: Brandon Ayuk. Will this guy get traded?
Will he get-
Torrez, your Pittsburgh Steelers are in the mix for this guy. Do you want him?
Yes, anything to help out our quarterbacks, man. I feel like we got a really solid team overall. I mean,
What have they said that y'all would be giving up if you did get him?
I did see that we'll be giving up a draft pick, and I think saw something else about a defensive player. I don't know who it was. It
Okay, so
wasn't.
not like Pickens. You would have to give
No, we
him.
wouldn't give up Pickens for him. We would be absolutely stupid if we did that. I
I hear it's
still
like y'all
Steelers
and the
don't usually do that.
Browns.
Yeah, I'm about to say Steelers don't usually do stupid stuff like that.
They
You know,
said the
out of all
Browns
the
might give up Amari Cooper if they got him. I
did they
swear.
just get Amari Cooper?
They just paid him. They just paid him a little bit more money, and they're thinking about trading him for Ayuk. Is what I've seen multiple people talk about that.
Weird, weird.
Mm-hmm. So you'd have to
Well,
top that.
that's true. Well, let's go. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll tell you another thing is the 49ers. That'll be
Yeah.
really interesting to see how what's the name of the quarterback? Can't think of his name right now,
Brock
man.
Purdy.
Purdy. That's right. Good old Purdy. Be good to see how Purdy come back coming to this season, man. Last year obviously was a fairy tale season. You know, first year as a starter, man, took his team all the way to the Super Bowl, basically. So
Awesome.
uh, the guy just did his thing. Hey, now, well, take that back. Take that back. I'm wrong. Second year as a starter because his first year as a starter took his team all the way to the NFC Championship game. Obviously, he
Yeah.
got hurt in that game. Finally, he was healthy. Took his team all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, NFC Championship, Super Bowl, back-to-back years. Hey, the next thing is to win it. So he's on he's doing his thing. So I'm excited to see what those 49ers bring to the table. They're a good team. It's gonna be some good football this year. I'm excited for football. I'm ready for football, man. I know the season's upon us. Like my fight's
Yeah.
coming up. Right after my fight, definitely gonna be tuning into a lot of football, not only NFL, college, high school. See my brother, he's a senior at Northeast, so I'm definitely gonna be trying to go to some of his
Oh
games.
yeah.
Definitely got to tune into some of Jones County. Also, I'll tune in on broadcast or whatever they do. Thomas County Central to watch some of Coach Rogers stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be some good football going on, and yeah, I'm excited, ready for Georgia to get going. We play
Oh
Clemson
yeah.
August 31st. That's another game that I was thinking about trying to go to as well. It's like we got some
Yeah.
time, but
I'll
I
be out
think
of
those
town.
tickets going to be already gone, but by then.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I won't be able to go because I will have to. I'm flying out that same day to go to Trevor's fight. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but overall, I'm pumped. I'm excited for football season. It's time to go, man. It's time to go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I've been keeping up with scrimmage notes. They said that the scrimmage yesterday was just it didn't go too great, obviously because, well, did you step outside yesterday? It was like I don't know. We're here in Macon. It was miserably hot. Like, and I would just stand out there for just a minute. wasn't even doing nothing. But they said everybody was just there was a lot of people that were just I don't know, not doing the best physically, out there in the heat. They said defense won the day, which that's the first time I've heard defense beat this offense in a while. Yeah, Carson was picked off a couple times. Jonel Guerrero stepped up at star. That looked pretty good apparently. So that's good to hear. Been getting some other guys step up. Daniel Harris might be that starting corner opposite of Dalen Everett, so that sounds pretty good. Humphrey will
I'd
be
be good. Yeah,
rotating in.
I'd be
Yeah,
good.
so I'm looking
Okay.
forward to that. The linebackers looking good. They said we should get
No,
more of a rush this year, and hopefully we get some contributors on the interior defensive line. That's the
no
main
crucial
thing.
injuries. No crucial injuries so far, has it?
Not yet. Big one so far is Jordan Hall. He sustained a leg injury, and then he did the same exact thing that he did on one leg on the other one. So he'll be gone for a little bit of the season now. So
Gee.
he was one that we were going to probably eventually we're going to need him. Hopefully he can get back in action. But if he don't, we still got Xavier McLeod transferred from South Carolina. I've heard great things. Christian Miller stepping in and making big plays. They're talking about Jordan Thomas, who's a true freshman. They're saying he's doing some good stuff. So there's guys that are stepping up. So it's just a matter of if we can rise to the occasion and do right in the big moments. So
Yeah,
hopefully.
that's going to be interesting. You think that Clemson game is going to be? How you think that Clemson game, first game of the season, going to be tight? Going to be close? Going to be rough?
I'm gonna say right now my feeling is the same way I felt about us going against Oregon that opening game a couple years back.
Oh, you think it's
So
going to be a butt?
I do, I do. I'm not trying to downplay
Okay.
them at all, but I don't see it going amazing for them. I mean, let's look at Clemson real quick. I guess we can do this since I'm not going. We may not be able to talk before this one. We'll see. Maybe we will. But let's see. Clemson depth chart real quick. I mean, I do like their quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I like Klubnik.
Mm-hmm.
I've always kind of liked him. Phil Moff is a good running back. They did lose Shipley, so that kind of hurts them some. They
Yeah.
should have an okay offensive line, and they will have Antonio Williams might be a problem as far as on the wide receivers, but other than that, I'm not too huge. They are going to have some good defensive linemen. Peter Woods was a great defensive line prospect coming out of high school. They got some other dudes. Homeboy from Warner Robins. Where is he at? Vic Burley. I don't know if he's going to be
Oh,
playing a ton or not, but he should be playing. I mean, I would hope he would get to play some, but there are some upperclassmen ahead of him on the depth chart at the moment, for what I'm seeing, and they should have some okay defensive backs. I really like our depth compared to theirs. The odds. I'm trying to see if there's any odds. Here's the odds. The odds have us as 14-point favorites. So there you go. Two touchdown. I think it could be more than that. I really do. And I think this might turn into a home atmosphere. Like might be more Georgia fans than
I can
Clemson
see
fans.
that
So
too. I can definitely see that too.
yeah, like I said, it just feels a lot like that Oregon game, and that was in Atlanta too. It's different conferences, man, and I know people you can piss and moan about SEC getting overhyped year after year, but when it keeps on happening, the same thing keeps happening. I just don't know. I don't know how many times I could say it, man. It's just different. It's just
It's just
different.
different.
So I
Right.
don't know. I'm not going to change how I feel about it. I think it's just a different ball game, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold up with like offensive line, man. Offensive line's going to be awesome.
Got,
I
got
really
some
think
got some horses up there. I've seen that now. You got
a
some horses.
lot. And it's not even
Oh,
just the first five out there. We can rotate about three in throughout the play different positions. Like right now, Jared Wilson, our starting center, he hasn't even been getting a bunch of reps. They're just trying to keep him fine because he had like a little bit of a slight injury. So they just been kind of taking him easy. Tate Ratledge has been moving inside to snap, and then they've been putting Micah Morris there and Dylan Fairchild at the opposite guards. And then as far as the tackles go, Ernest Green, Xavier Truss, and then we can also bring in Monroe Freeling. They're saying that he might take over that right tackle spot before Bama. So,
you gonna be
um,
dude. That's how
got some
confident we get.
dudes.
I like us. I like our chances.
Hey, the
Like I
trenches,
said,
dude. The trenches.
hey,
I say it.
Brenton,
I say it all
that's where
day. The
you win
trenches is
at.
where it's won.
Where you win at, man.
I
Look,
believe in the offensive trenches. The
yeah,
defensive trenches got to match. They got to match, man.
they got to
And
match it. Yeah.
going
That's what we
against that
thought. That
offensive
was
line
our
every day at
follow-up.
practice, they're only gonna get better. That's the best offensive line they're gonna face. Is the one they're
Mhm.
facing in practice. So
That's right. You're right. That was our flaw last year. We wasn't the best in the pass rush. We was able to stop the run here and there. I would say we were lenient
yeah,
on the run, but I felt like our trenches on defensively was one of our flaws, and I think we probably got some of those pieces covered up. We got to see though. I have to see it to believe it. So
you're correct. You're correct, man. But yeah, well, hey, man. I know this is last time I'll see you before the fight. So good luck.
yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
And you can tune in ESPN Plus next
ESPN Plus.
Tuesday the 20th,
Mhm.
and you're the second card. When does that? When does it? The live officially start on that? 7:38, something like that.
7:30 or 8.
Let me look up
Uh,
Dana White Contender
let me
Series.
see.
Let's
Yeah, if I say you can look it up. Yeah,
start time. Let's see if it'll tell me something here. 7 p.m.
7
So
p.m.
you should probably, I mean, no later than 8. I feel like you'd be starting.
So if it starts
So
at 7 p.m., it says it starts at 7 p.m.
that's what this is.
So,
It says
well, I'm just saying, if it starts 7 p.m., that means I'll be fighting around 7:30.
It says additionally, ESPN2 will broadcast the docuseries starting with. Oh, hang on.
Docu series. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Hang on. That might be wrong. All right, here we go. All the fights on ESPN Plus starting at 8 p.m. Eastern.
So I'll fight around
There you go.
8:30. I'm
So
at
yeah,
8:30.
you'll be before 9.
Yeah. So
It'll
boom,
last from
boom, boom, boom.
9. It probably lasts from 8:30 to 8:31. That fight should last, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just talking trash. Hopefully
Man.
it's a quick one.
Yeah. That's
But yeah,
all.
man.
Yes,
I
sir.
hope it goes well. Hope it goes well. Keep me posted on everything. But any last things you want to say here?
No, man. Thank everybody for the support. Excited for the opportunity. And yeah, let's go get this contract. I'm getting it this time.
Yes,
Leave no
sir.
doubt.
We believe it. We believe it. All right. Well, thank you guys out there for listening. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. If you want to support the podcast, please click on the link tree of this link of this description in the podcast and Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you are listening to this. You can support us in many different ways. Follow us on our social medias, and like we said, tune in next Tuesday to Torrez as he takes on what's the guy's name again?
Cam Ralston.
Cam Ralston. I keep forgetting that. All right, and we will see. As always, we'll see you next time.
Boom, boom.